Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Coronavirus. And I'm going to touch on travel options also because one may affect the other drastically as time goes on here. It has for some people already. Had one of my subscribers, I think he was going to be transferring planes in a Chinese city, and he was asking whether he might have to change his travel plans. Not sure how that all worked out in the end. Anyway, here in the Philippines, it has been in the news, in the newspapers, on the television. You'll find many people wearing the face masks, and a lot of the pharmacies, in fact, every pharmacy I've been by, a lot of them even have signs outside their door, out of face masks. So there's a huge run on face masks, and I did get a couple of them provided to me, and they are this type basically. They're three levels basically: inside level, outside level, and an inside little filter that you put over your ears. And one thing you want to do, unlike this lady here, is also cover your nose. Now I have worn that mask for a little while, and it is a little bit uncomfortable breathing. So I certainly understand why a person would want to take it down over their nose and breathe through their nose. But of course, it doesn't provide you the best protection that way. Now, general rule, very general rule, is that if you are ill, masks are best worn if you are ill, so that you don't cough, give your diseases, your germs to other people. Will it protect you from other people if you're healthy? Possibly could if you're in close contact with people who are ill also, if they're coughing and spitting. One other important thing for you to remember is try not to touch your face with your hands. Wash your hands often, much more often than you normally would. And also don't be touching your face and your mouth and your eyes and your nose with your hands, because you've got germs on your hands and you don't want to transfer those into your facial cavities. I believe there are two confirmed cases of this virus in the Philippines. The one person just died from that disease, and the second one is still being watched in a hospital, I believe, in Manila. Now, how will this affect air travel? How will this affect travel? Will it affect the availability of planes? Will it affect the cost of airline tickets? I've read an article this morning about how in the next couple of months it's going to affect supply chain for factories because so much is made in China. Another one of the bad reasons to have all your manufacturing centered in one country. A lot of that manufacturing will be. In fact, they had the Chinese New Year going on this month, and that has affected a lot of the travel. People travel all over the country to visit family and celebrate, and they basically quarantined several cities in China and tried to stop people from traveling. Apparently, the virus there, I believe the official reports are probably underreported drastically from everything that I've read and seen, also from a person who lived in China for I think over 12 years and had contacts with a lot of the doctors because he helped teach them, instruct them in the English language. But back to air travel, how will that affect your travels and in and out of the Philippines or Southeast Asia? And will it affect the cost? Well, there are a couple of factors. Number one, many airlines have stopped flying into China, so that would seem to free up planes to go to other areas. Many people are changing their travel plans or delaying their travel plans because of until they find out how this virus is going to move around the world. So that should free up additional space. Will the airlines lower their prices because of that? Now, sometime before summer, I hope to take a trip back to the USA. There had been some pressure on airline seats. A big part of it was because the Boeing planes that were taken out of service over a couple crashes they had in the past couple of years, and issues with their software and their training of their pilots. So I am hoping that because this is freeing up, it's sometimes there are some good sides of some really bad stories. I'm hoping that because it will free up more planes, and hopefully the airlines will lower some of the prices. But there will also be a lot more, perhaps, hassle at airports as the authorities are going to be using heat scanners to scan all the passengers going in and out of flights. So that will take a little bit of additional scanning time. Will you be changing your travel plans? I'd be interested to hear what your comments are and whether you're going to be changing any of your plans. Uh, the biggest numbers of tourists and travelers to the Philippines are from Korea and China. Korea has a number of these viruses also, and they've stopped a lot of the flights, becoming much more restrictive of flights from China. So a couple of things that may happen. It may free up and actually lower prices for hotel rooms in town. Some of the unintended consequences. But there are many things that happen when you have a global event like this, a virus that's spreading around the world very quickly. Are we getting accurate information? I don't know. They don't want anybody to start panicking. People have already, anytime there's a calamity and a national emergency any place, people run to the stores and start buying all the food up. Then you have empty shelves. What I would suggest people do is that you take those precautions well ahead of time. Buy masks before they're in demand. Have a little extra food and water in your homes in case of some unexpected virus or natural disaster. I know a number of travelers that have told me that they try to get extra healthy before they fly because of all the germs that are known to be present in the closed spaces of airplanes. And I would suggest you do that year-round, taking higher doses of vitamin C, something I've done off and on. And again, I've done quite a bit of research in the last several months, last year or so, and changed some of my health practices. I'm eating healthier, taking some supplements, and I'll do a separate video about that soon. And I will upset one of my friends here in town, Dr. George, probably by some of the things I will reveal that I'm doing. But anyway, Dr. George, sorry about that in advance. Anyway, take those precautions if you're going to fly. Have the face mask, get proper rest, and stay away from people who are coughing. If they're sitting right beside you, that's a difficult thing, especially if some child's sitting there coughing and hacking. And what can you do? You can try to ask to get moved to a different seat if there are any available. One of my thoughts and fears would be is when I go back to the USA, if this virus spreads drastically and they take draconian measures and start shutting down and restricting travel in and out of several different places, making it more difficult to travel, maybe more expensive to travel. So there is that risk as well. Or the consequences from this, it may be additional airline seats that are available, or they may just ground all those extra flights and continue to have full planes and keeping the prices up. It certainly is going to have some effect on the tourist industry, some percentage points, I would presume, because so many of the Chinese that come and visit here, so that's going to be reduced. It may loosen up hotel rooms, resort rooms, and prices may drop somewhat because of that. Keep one thing in mind here in the Philippines, and even I found in China too, most of the restrooms, the CRs, the comfort rooms, toilets do not have soap, do not have towels. So bring your soap, your towels, your sanitary wipes, those types of things. Be prepared to use them more often than you normally would. Anyway, interested in your thoughts, and if you're changing any of your plans, thank you for watching. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and I'll see you next time.